Once upon a time, a very thirsty ant was drinking water from the river. Suddenly, the ant lost his balance and fell into the river water. "Help! Help! Help!" cried the ant, but no one could hear his cries. A dove, sitting on a tree nearby, saw that the ant was in trouble. She quickly plucked off a leaf from the tree and dropped it into the water. The ant climbed on the leaf. He thanked the dove for saving his life. After a few days, the dove was sitting on a tree. The ant saw a hunter aiming his arrow at the dove. The ant knew that his friend the dove was in danger. He quickly bit the hunter's leg. The hunter cried in pain. The hunter's arrow missed the dove. This time, the ant saved the dove. The dove thanked the ant for saving her life, and they became friends forever. Moral of the story: one good deed deserves grapes. A very thirsty fox was wandering in the jungle looking for water. He spotted a bunch of grapes hanging from a vine curled up on a tree. The fox got really happy. He thought,
"This is just the thing I need to quench my thirst."
He jumped, but he couldn't reach the grapes. The grapes were too high up for him. He tried with all his strength to jump higher and higher, but he couldn't reach them. The fox finally gave up and said,
"The grapes are probably sour anyway."
And he walked away. Moral of the story: it's easy to despise what you cannot get.
Once upon a time, a young couple lived near an enchanted garden. But no one ever set foot in the garden because it was owned by a witch. One day, the wife, who was expecting a baby, began to crave spring leaves from the witch's garden. Her husband bravely picked leaves of a plant named Rapunzel. The witch caught him. The husband said,
It's for my pregnant wife."
In return, the witch demanded to take the child. The couple was soon blessed with a little girl. The witch arrived at their door and took the baby away. She decided to name her Rapunzel. Years passed, and Rapunzel turned 13. The witch locked her in a tower with no door. The witch would climb the tower using Rapunzel's long hair. One day, a prince saw Rapunzel sitting at the window. He was instantly enchanted by her. Rapunzel let down her hair, and the prince climbed up. "You must go before the witch finds you," said Rapunzel. The prince promised to help her escape with a rope ladder. When the witch returned, she sensed that a man had been there. In anger, she chopped off Rapunzel's long golden hair and locked her in a cupboard. The prince arrived again and climbed up. But the witch was holding the long hair. She tried to push him away. The prince managed to dodge the witch. She lost her balance and fell on the ground with a thud. The prince found Rapunzel in the cupboard. They climbed down the rope ladder and fled. Soon they got married and lived happily ever after. Midas and the Golden Touch. Once there lived a kind and wealthy king named Midas. He was so obsessed with wealth that he would dream of it every night. One day, Midas saw an elderly man in the garden. He invited the man to his palace. At the palace, a young man wearing a leafy crown appeared. He was looking for the elderly man. The elderly man said to Midas, "This is Dionysus. He is a god." Dionysus said to Midas, "You've been very kind to my friend. In return, I will grant you a wish." Midas wished, "Everything I touch must turn to gold." "So be it," said Dionysus, snapping his fingers. Instantly, Midas's wooden stick turned into a gold one. Midas touched his palace, and the walls turned to dazzling gold. He felt like the richest man in the world. It was dinner time, and Midas was hungry. But when he touched his food, it turned to gold. "Oh no!" His daughter heard his cries. She ran towards Midas and hugged him. Even she turned into a golden statue. He cried for help from Dionysus. His daughter heard his cries. She ran towards Midas and hugged him. Even she turned into a golden statue. He cried for help from Dionysus. Dionysus appeared. He said, "Bathing in the river will wash away your gift." Midas stepped into the river, and his stick became wooden again. He went back to his palace. Everything was back to normal. Midas was very happy. He promised to never be greedy again.
Like and subscribe.